Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Did you know you can advertise on podcasts? Find out more at podvertise.com.au. That's podvertise with an s.com.au. Ozcast.
Fortunately for them, their DJ neighbour, Matt Burgess, couldn't sleep.
My night, Jarrod Walsh, lovely bloke. He's been around for ages.
Oh,
mate. Jarrod, I love him. He's a cracker.
And world tennis number 3, Andy Martins, had to, Andy Murray even.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Best Team Men. Thanks to our sponsors, Connor and Lena at the Brighton Trophy Centre, Stavros the Pirate at Mind and Movement Physio, Lee, Shifty Lizard, and the Odd Sock Mob. Andy and Jarrod, welcome to you. Feels like we were just here.
I know, right?
Have a look at our socials if you want to see who won the pair of odd socks too. Go to their Facebook page. They're supporting mental health throughout October, and I have been advised by the Odd Sock Mob that socks are in the mail on the way to you boys.
Beautiful. Sensational.
There you go. I mean, you ask and you shall receive on
I've
this
been wearing
podcast.
odd socks for years.
Yes,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, kill.
Sorry, all I could think about was things you do with socks apart from putting them on your feet. And now that's
okay.
like think about
I
boosting
mean,
and
we've
coming
been
up shortly.
going on for, a minute and 4 seconds and you're already there.
How's your week been, boys?
Yeah, week's been pretty good. We got a lot to talk about today, which is great. We never have nothing to talk about,
No.
and we don't spend a lot of time preparing.
And the great thing is, every week we have something new in front of us.
Yeah.
Or something new to wear, like a bit, another thing has joined the
Yeah,
podcast.
that's
Do you know
right.
what I mean?
It
Like
just-
every week just keeps getting
snowballs.
better. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
You know what's interesting? The fact that I am the most consistent when it comes to being part of our group chat. There are certain times that
Yeah.
Andy, you disappear and then you come back with a weird but incredible GIF. Your GIF game is amazing.
Thank you, sir.
Your merchandise is amazing. Go to ozcast.com/bestteammen. Is that right? Or shop?
Just head to ozcastnetwork.com, or you can just Google Best Team Men merchandise and it'll come up.
Fantastic. That's what I said. You just weren't listening. And Matt, you've been absent for a long time, and I still feel that
Yeah.
to get in touch with you, we're safer tweeting you or sending you a DM on Instagram. What have you been doing?
Yeah, I've been playing Handyman lately. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Is that a game?
No. If it is, it's not very fun.
Yeah. It's a new song.
You know how they say you learn something new every day? Well, I've learnt that I'm not a fucking tradie and I never will be because it's tough work.
Yeah.
So I, along with a mate of mine, have been putting new flooring in my house.
Yeah, right.
Which has absolutely cooked my back. So I think that's an age thing. Yeah, never again.
Did you have to rip out old flooring, or do you go
No,
straight
we just
top?
went straight over the top. So when we bought our house, my wife said, let's stain the floors really dark. And I thought, yeah, well, great idea. We looked at photos and they looked amazing. And so we did that and they looked good for about 40 seconds. Every little scratch, every little bit of hair, fluff just shows up. So,
Of course, because you got pets as well, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Nugget and Pendles.
Yep.
So you know.
Nugget is the shittest name for a pet. Sorry.
Oh, she's going to hate you for that.
Wait, is Nugget the cat?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't give mate cats a shit.
What's your cat's name? Vegemite or
It's
something?
not my cat. I inherited the cat. It's not mine.
What's your stepcat's name? Vegemite.
Vegemite, yeah.
Oh, that's heaps better.
I didn't name the fucking cat, mate.
Neither did I.
Oh, okay.
So we thought,
Guys, can you stop fighting? I'm over here.
so
Sorry.
we
Sorry.
thought.
Go to your room.
So after about 40 seconds, we thought the black floors look shit, but we're going to keep them for 4 years anyway.
Yeah.
So it finally came to a head, and we thought, nah, fuck this. We're going to put some new flooring down. So yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Do you reckon there's a moment in your adult life where you just concede and you go, I'm never going to be good at this? Like with handyman stuff, I'm exactly the same.
I'd rather pay someone.
It's horrible.
Well, yeah, that's what happened here at Ozcast. So the whole thing was we had to get a dive of a room and then redo it.
Yeah.
So
When are you going to do that?
we haven't started yet. Oh, yeah, that's so harsh. But we had to rip up the floors. There was like half, is it vinyl flooring?
Yeah.
Like you would have in an old school kitchen.
Yeah.
And the other half was like really old carpet that obviously had some things underneath it that died. And all the paint on the walls were like, this is a building from like the 40s or something like that. It's just been painted over for years. And it broke us as well. It really did. And I'm not. I fucking hate painting.
I think I'm at the point when,
painting
like,
is the worst.
when doing handyman stuff, I go, there's going to be something that goes wrong every time. Like, I painted my bathroom with outdoor paint, and I thought that's awesome because, you know, outdoor paint like survives the rain, so the shower miss is going to be sweet. Yeah. But then you miss parts, and I can't be bothered doing this. My attention to detail with that is horrible. I set up a bed that my missus bought from Gumtree, but the Gumtree people actually forgot to give us 2 parts, and then they vanished from Gumtree. Oh no! And I thought this was karma from me, like a couple of years ago, selling dodgy PlayStations and then just deleting my eBay account. That, like, something happens with a part of the bed breaks, or you hurt your hand. You go, this isn't just, and you get so frustrated at yourself because you go, this is not my skill at all. It will never be.
Well, one year I sold my iPhone. And it was an iPhone 7, and I swore it was an iPhone 7S, right? So I've sold it, and this is when I was living down at Glenelg in a unit, right? So there was, when the people came, it was my first time selling something on Gumtree, right?
Did you take the nudes off?
No, I kept them on. That's extra value.
Yeah.
He's sent some really good nudes before.
Yeah, like you have to get the really big lens out.
How modest is he?
That refers to how small it is, but
gross it is.
Gross. Anyway, so being my first time selling on Gumtree, I was like, okay, I'm gonna think what my dad do, and he's a risk guy, right? He thinks about things from a risk side of, point of view. So I don't want people to rob me. I don't want people to bash me. So I met the people at the front. They came along. They tried to negotiate hard with me. I was like, no, this is an iPhone 7S. Okay, I'll throw in a charger. Like, you guys don't have a charger? Like, you
for a Samsung.
Far out, mate. Yeah.
So they've got there before they started the negotiating.
No, so they've gotten there, they've looked at it, even after you'd spoken to them on Gumtree, you know, in the messaging area, they've bargained hard, as they usually do, and then they wanted a fucking headset, they wanted the power adapter and all that sort of stuff. So I went and got that, ran down, sort of hid for a bit so they couldn't see which unit I went into, came back out with the adapter, and then off they went, right? They gave me the couple $100 that I sold it for.
Yeah.
Then I get this message about half an hour from Gumtree, on Gumtree, saying it's not an iPhone 7S. We want our money back, and we're coming back now. So I literally just deleted the account and hid for 2 days.
I know. So we've got the address of these people where they live, and I said, let's rock up. But you just don't know how they're going to act. And it's so annoying when that stuff happens.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, one thing that was very good about being a tradie for the week was we decided to get a skip in.
Cool.
To, you know, because generally when we buy a lot of furniture and stuff like that, the boxes and the foam and all that sort of stuff just sits in our lounge room for years.
Yeah.
And so we thought, no, fuck it. I'm going to get a skip in. I'm going to be on top of it, and we're going to get rid of everything.
You're painting a great picture of your house, by the way.
Yeah, can't wait to not go.
So you guys want to come over anytime soon?
No. We can play cardboard box sports.
It actually turns out that Matty lives in one of the cardboard boxes.
So what we actually did was we got the skip in on about 2 or 3 days before we started putting the floors down, and by the time the floors were down, the skip was full.
Yeah.
So
other people's rubbish, or just yours?
Just ours.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Other people see that as an invitation, don't they?
Well, luckily they didn't. So but it's so therapeutic getting a skip in, just getting rid of so much shit that you don't know you've got. And your house feels so much bigger,
especially in a long-term relationship, or even a relationship that you've brought 2 people together that used to live in 2 separate houses, right? So they come together and you just have double everything. There's shit everywhere. I'm talking about my place, by the way.
Yeah, you can tell. It's very obvious.
So there has been,
when you said if you're in a long-term relationship or one with people who've come from other relationships with kids, and now I've got 2 kids, but you get to be very specific.
And her name is this, and the address is this. There's always been a lot of building around the Plimpton area, right? So we had a lot of rubbish. We had nowhere to put it. In goes the skip. So,
I know. If you guys outside your house on bin day, it's a sad thing to see, but you can see they're trying to do the right thing. People go to your yellow bin and they get out the recycling.
Yeah.
See, I get really judgy because I think like I put some of our paperwork in there for bills. So I stand at the door with the fly screen shut going, no.
Did you learn that from me whenever we'd walk through Rundle Mall and the people coming out and trying to sell us stuff?
Yeah, you know the guys who are standing there at the table like, g'day mate, I love your t-shirt. I kind of lean in that. Now, can I just trouble you for a sec?
Yes.
Like Andy and I had this policy where I would say, sorry, mate, I don't speak English. Like, literally like that. And I'd say it in the most English way possible, and Andy would just go,
no! Like in their because I used to be one of those guys.
Did you really?
Yeah, I used to sell American Express credit cards.
Oh, wow.
And it was the worst job ever.
Because they're commission-based only, yeah?
Only commission-based. It was $13 a sign-up. And the thing is...
$13 a sign-up.
If I signed you up, say at the airport or Elizabeth Shopping Centre or whatever, American Express calls you the next week to confirm everything, right?
Right.
If you turn around and say, "Nah, I don't want it anymore," that $13 comes out of my account. Yeah. Being the sort of person I am and being in those industries, you have to work out how it's going to benefit you the best. So the best way to get through and around things, right? So you would... Obviously, in this case, with the American Express credit card, you'd aim for people that would be looking at buying credit cards. So when you did Elizabeth Shopping Centre or down south in Noarlunga, in those areas, like that's a big area for credit cards, right? Yeah, that's where you live. But also the airport. The airport was a big one, but they'd always put us out front of the Qantas lounge where people would be leaving to go to their plane.
So they've got heaps of time to talk.
Yeah, they've got no time because they wait to the end. So because you'd end up being really cocky because this is the only thing you got to do all day, right? Is try to sell this fucking credit card that people don't want because there are so many fees attached to it, right? So I'd always aim for the craziest person I could find just for a bit of entertainment.
Yeah.
And it's really good for sales. So I'd aim for like the biker looking dudes or like just these huge dudes and try to sell them a credit card, and I would get the biggest death threats of my life.
They work on a cash only basis.
How'd you go for sales? Like, did you have a good run at it?
Nah. It got to the point where when we did the airport, this is all of us, by the way, not just me.
Yeah.
You get a couple a week.
Okay.
So it's $30. You're working 9 till 6 every day, including Saturdays and Thursdays or Fridays, depending on where you were. You'd work late.
Yeah.
It got to the point where we couldn't afford food. So what we'd do is we'd end up going across the cafe in the departure lounge and getting the sugar sachets and eating sugar to get you through the day because we had no money. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you feel for those guys. We were down at Brighton a couple of weeks ago, and there was a guy there who's like, "Hey man, Adelaide 36ers, we met last year." And I'm horrible with names. And I'm like, "Yeah, how are you, Dave?" And he's like, "Yeah, Jeff." It made me feel like pretty bad.
Is there anything worse than when someone knows your name and you don't know theirs?
Horrible, mate. I saw him a week later at a seafood place, and I'm like, "Yeah, Jeff! Yeah, you remember? Yeah, always did, bro." And I had that a couple of weeks ago down at Hallett Cove for the film festival, where it was interesting because it was windy. It was so windy, and the guy who is supposed to set up the screen, he left, and the brightness was turned up extremely high. So imagine it's really dark, and then it goes to the yellow part of the screen. Everybody sits back like they need sunnies. The Welcome to Country guy came there, and he's like, Hey, how are you, bro? Oh, the footy last week, how did you think? And I was trying to think about everything at that time. And then I'm going, good game. Port Adelaide was really good. And he's going, so what time am I getting on the microphone, Josh? And I'm like,
oh, no.
And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, and I tested him again just to see, and he kept calling me Josh. And then he's like, maybe if you can go check with Mark, who's organising the event. And I'm like, his name's Matt.
This guy's over from two.
Just going everyone. But then he said, "You don't remember me, do you, Josh?" And I was about to say, well, I mean, that obviously makes two of us. You don't remember my name. And he said, I kicked the first goal of the game at Port Adelaide last year. They have a ceremonial first goal of the game, a former Port player.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Mate, I'm really sorry I don't." The hard thing was, because he was doing Welcome to Country, he was in full traditional kit with face paint on and everything.
So you couldn't really
but when
see
he
him.
kicked the first goal of the game, he was in a suit. So I had to say, it's pretty difficult to determine that. And he's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it, Josh." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks. Thanks, mate."
Josh.
But people getting your name wrong, and when you forget names, I never remember names. It's horrible.
Yeah. Well, you meet so many people, right? So you can't expect...
But there's ways that you can get around it. Like some people say you repeat someone's name back to them. So your name's Andy. Go, "Hey, thanks, Andy. Nice to meet you, Andy," just as a memory thing. For me, I was once taught by associating someone's name with a word that starts with the letter. So Matt, you're like Magic Matt. So I'd look at you and I go, yeah, there's Magic because it's your nickname. And I go, oh yeah, that's Magic Matt. And
what about Andy with an A? That's arsehole Andy over there. Oh, thanks, mate. Cheers. Thanks, Josh. I was listening to a podcast during the week, and it was a guy, right? His name is Guy, actually. He's the host. Okay.
Guy Sebastian.
I was listening to it.
Guy Smiley.
So his name's Guy.
Smiley.
And he's interviewing this chick, and she is in charge of a $20 million investment company, right? She called him Deborah 6 times throughout the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
And the crazy, he didn't even try to change, like, my name's actually Guy, not Deborah. Like, I don't know if you can hear by my voice. I mean, you know, things, the world is changing, of course. So anything is possible, but it is definitely not Deborah.
No. It's my go-to in that situation is if I've got my wife with me, I'll introduce her. I'll say,
nice.
This is my wife, Kira, and then I'll just turn away and hope that Kira goes, what's your name?
Yeah.
And I look like a complete dick, but I know his name.
No, that's okay, because you got to, and when she's saying what's your name, you're just like listening into the conversation with one ear turned.
Like, say it.
So, now, guys, I wanted to ask, before we get to a radio story, what do you like with handing food or coffee back when you're not satisfied with it? With Uber Eats, I'm fine. I complain all the time on Uber Eats, and I'd have a horrible rating, which is totally, I'm fine with that.
What is your Uber rating right now?
I don't know.
Have a look.
Like Uber as in a passenger in the car?
Or does it all come in together?
How do you find out what your rating is?
Be in your settings, wouldn't it?
Say Uber.
4.71.
Ooh. 4.84.
4.96. Yeah, boys. It's because I always try to get them to do a podcast. I'll be like, hey, man, you got a great story here.
Yeah, have you had a podcasting?
You thought about advertising and franchising in podcasts?
There's a part.
Oh, Cherish is in the back. I'm Lyndon.
I'm Lyndon. What about the other night? I sent on WhatsApp a fart to Andy, and his whole family were listening into it at the time.
Yeah, because it's an audio file, so you got to play it.
Yeah.
And it came across on the speaker, and all they hear is this. And I'm like, sorry guys, it's Jarrod. It's Jarrod over here. But it's saying that, so my daughter,
The ghost of Ozcast.
she's, a couple of months old.
Yep.
And
you finally got there.
She's a couple of months old, and she started to respond to like sounds and laugh at things and stuff. And the only thing that she's currently laughing at is farts.
Legend. Daddy's girl.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? I'll play this in Boost Team Man.
Okay.
So I want to get the right bit. I don't want to get the wrong bit. It's a porno or something like that.
So the reason I asked about handing food back is because I can't do it. I feel really uncomfortable. And a couple of weeks ago, we went out for dinner. My father-in-law was over, and we went out for dinner. I've spoken about my father-in-law before. We're very different, but we really get along. And
he loves the NBA, doesn't he?
Loves the NBA. Like, he's such a thoughtful guy, like caring guy, and I'm really building this up before I smash him. So we went for dinner to a new place in the West Lakes area, and the service wasn't incredible. I'll be honest, it wasn't incredible. So our food didn't take long to come out. The food tasted amazing. We ordered another drink, but then that didn't come. And when we asked for the bill, that came about 10 minutes late, and then about 10 minutes after that, they didn't come and collect the bill. So the little things like that, which
hospitality,
first world problems. But I think the girl was
people wouldn't be starving for business at the moment. Would
that's
they?
exactly right. And look, she was pretty poor, but look, it may have been her first week or whatever. So he said, look, I'm going to complain about this, because he's got form when he complains and stuff. That's what he likes to do. He feels that's his purpose. So we basically sat there, and I said, look, here's the deal. We're not going to complain. I said, if you want to, can we please agree that the three of us will leave and you stay by yourself and complain? So we're not part of this. He's like, don't worry, it's fine. So we get to pay the bill, because we take the receipt up to the front bar, and the lady goes, so how was everything? And he's turned around and he's like, this is my time. This is my moment. And we're like, oh, shit.
He's like, run.
No! So then he gave them a bit of a serve on how poor it was. And I thought that was it. We thought, awesome, that's great. We've left. The next morning he comes around to our house, and we're like, mate, what time did you get to bed? It was a pretty early night after the Sandful finals, so it was pretty good. And he said, well, I was up a little bit late, actually, because not only did I do a Google review, I also emailed the place and told them how poor their service was.
Yeah.
I'm like, Oh, my God. So then today, my wife says to me, yeah, got an email from Dad today. He wants to know if we want to go out for dinner at this restaurant because they've given us a free meal. And I said, I want nothing to do with that.
Well,
I don't want it to be the
how
people.
awkward will it be?
Oh, my God. Imagine what they would do to the meal if it was like an American movie. Have you guys handed anything back before like that? I mean, you've walked out of a restaurant.
I've walked out of
that's
that was pre-food, so I didn't even get to the food part.
I can't do it. I can't build up the courage to do it because I don't think anyone intentionally comes up to say, hey, here's a shit meal we prepared for you.
So, not me, Kira, my wife. A couple of weeks ago, we Sunday nights we just tend to eat whatever we want, and we decided to get Macca's. So I went out and got it, and
What did you drink?
Fanta. So we chose Macca's because she's really into getting the Monopoly stickers at the moment. So she's hell bent on winning something. Chances aren't in her favour, but anyway.
Obviously, she hasn't won a good fiancé yet.
Well, she's married. So
Side note, you know, the trick behind that. So
Cheat.
So Yaz used to work in head office at Macca's, right?
Right.
So she's been in these boardroom meetings.
just hang on, have we got any lawyers
Are
on
we
hand
allowed
here?
to say- we have seen McMillions.
Yeah.
Oh, she got sacked. It's fine. No, redundant.
Join the club.
She got made redundant.
Thanks for bringing it up.
No. Well, they made her redundant, right? And then her final day, she had to organise a painter for the building, which was $20,000. And she was like, well, I'll paint the building if you just keep me on for that 9 months that the $20,000 would cost them to have her there. It's crazy. Anyway, she said, with the Monopoly thing, right, you've got to actually buy, every time you go there, buy a different menu item to get the different Monopoly things.
Is that right?
So basically you cheese, say it's a quarter pounder.
Yeah.
And you might get Trafalgar Square and a chance thingy.
Yeah.
You'll always get that. They
that.
only have certain ones that
Right.
go on that burger one. So if you get a thick shake or fucking fillet of fish or whatever
Love
they call
fillet of fish.
whatever they call now, that'll have a different type. So
Okay, I'm with you.
just-
You like fillet of fish?
Yeah, I do.
Same.
Yep.
Yeah.
Once I have them on Good Friday.
Yeah, that's you. I remember
that's
you
my
telling me
tradition,
that.
yeah.
They're very good. Is it?
They're very
because of
smart.
the
No,
bun?
they're not very good. That's the great thing
No,
about them. They're
but-
just like oven baked, bloody defrosted.
Bird's eye fish fingers
It's two fish fingers which have molded together.
with a piece of plastic cheese on
Yeah,
it.
and the tartare sauce, which makes you stink all day. But I love them.
Love a fish finger.
So we went to Macca's.
So you went to Macca's.
Yeah. So we went to Macca's. And
That's the end of the podcast, guys. See you later, guys. He's gone.
sorry. So Kira's not eating meat at the moment. So her order was a McVeggie.
Yeah.
Okay.
McVeggie meal. So I've gone to Macca's, gone through the drive-through, and I rang her because I was like, you're going to hate this. They haven't given us the Monopoly cups, and they haven't given us the Monopoly fries. So they're just giving us standard ones. And I said, maybe the promotion's done. She said, it's not fucking done. I'm like, oh, yeah, I have got the terms and conditions here. Yeah. She knows them. Anyway, I got home, and she's taken a bite of her burger, and she's gone, sorry, this is chicken.
Oh, no. On a vegetarian
On a
veggie burger
box.
thing.
Yeah, in a veggie wrapper.
Wow.
It said McVeggie, but it was chicken. So she goes, I'm going to destroy these people. So she's got up. She's gone. She's driven herself. I said, I'm not coming with you.
Yeah.
I just went, I'm having a shower.
Yeah.
So she's driven down. And she's gone full Karen. Can I speak to the manager?
Yeah.
And it's pretty funny. She comes home and she goes, so I got my proper burger. I've ended up with 8 tokens, and I also got $12.95 back.
That is awesome.
What usually happens, right? Once again, Yaz working where she worked.
Yeah.
We get massive orders when we go drive through for Macca's because 4 kids, 2 adults.
Yeah.
I had a fair bit. You know what I'm saying, boys? So Yaz, being the ex-employee, knows the behind-the-scenes stuff and what she is allowed to get if she complains. So if there is something wrong in the order, she knows what to say, and all of a sudden we've got a full credit and the food, plus probably hugs and kisses and a bloody Monopoly board game.
Yeah.
So we would always complain, and then we'd get a free credit, and then we'd obviously just get free food, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's great.
I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, it's awesome.
No, I love.
So, yes, if you can just email in what those things are, that'd be great.
Next week we're sponsored by McDonald's, which is brilliant.
Exactly.
We don't have long. So radio story that I've been talking about this for a couple of rounds. So we would have industry trivia nights when it came to radio, where radio is such a weird industry where basically some people have the mentality of, excuse me,
It's not boost here, man, mate.
so some people have the mentality of thinking that the competitors are just assholes, all of them,
Right.
instead of going, wait, we're all in the same business. Like we worked with someone who actually had a target of another announcer on their wall, their pin board.
yeah, that's right.
Just
Yeah,
because they wanted to just destroy them in the ratings. Like
Really?
literally.
Oh, a
taking-
rival station. So not
taking-
someone within the company.
No, rival station. Yeah,
Like Jarrod's got a photo of Andy up there
Oh,
and
well,
Smallsy.
there was a couple of people who probably had them of me. So, yeah, it took it really seriously. So these industry nights are always a little bit weird because you've got to socialise with these people. And these quiz nights were strange because it was basically all of the talent from the stations would get on the stage and ask trivia questions. And I've only been to one of these nights and it was just really uncomfortable. And I don't have any ill feelings toward anyone else at another station, so I'm happy to go up and say hello. But it makes them awkward because a lot of the other competitors were like that. Do you experience that too?
Yeah, well, I think I've spoken about this before, but we had a industry bowling night where all the TV stations and the radio stations got together at Nord at AMF there for a bowling night or something, and it was that boring and no one was talking to each other that I went and ordered a whole round of agua shots for everyone, and then all of a sudden got the party started and then we ended up at the Alma and I was like, party. And all I remember is being glazed over and looking at Rory Sloan because he was there at the Alma obviously because he's one of the owners, and I'm like, hey Rory, my name's Andy and I'm working over. And that's all I remember of that night. But you had to break the ice because for some weird reason a lot of people that work in say radio, because the announcers, a lot of the time, they're in a studio talking to themselves.
Yes.
You go crazy after a while and you become an introvert, even if you start as an extrovert.
Yep.
Right? And all that sort of stuff's changed. So when you're in a big area of other people in the industry, everyone goes quiet.
It's the most nervous time to be on stage as well because it's like hosting your own company's awards, which I did. Like you feel that everybody's judging you because they're all your competitors, so you've got to go out there and present. So I thought, okay, I'm going to ask some trivia questions. We had some of our old announcers dress up as bloody as Star Wars characters, just trying to be who can be funny and who can be quirky, even though you're a bit of a
Sounds
jerk.
awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So I got on stage and I'm like, hey guys, here's the deal. I have about 50 double passes to Sam Smith here, the concert. And I reckon what I'm going to do, just to break the ice, I'm going to send you off to the Sam Smith concert. And I chucked them all out into the crowd. So what had happened a couple of weeks before, Sam Smith had cancelled the concert. So the tickets were null and void. They were nothing.
You were taking the piss.
I was taking the piss, just going, this is awesome. We'll just hand him out. We're going to send you off to Sam Smith. They got the joke.
Yeah.
We got that part done, sat down. I left at the interval and it was brilliant. But little did I know a couple of weeks later that the touring company announced that Sam Smith had rescheduled the tour, and all you needed to do to actually get your ticket was to hold on to the ones that you had originally.
My God.
So I had literally thrown out 50 double passes. So it's 100 tickets. So it's ridiculous
$100 a
money.
ticket.
It's crazy. Just chucked it out. And a lot of people got to see Sam Smith.
Do you reckon there was a lot that went to waste because people just thought, it's cancelled, I don't really need
100%.
that.
And there would have
sat
been
on the
people-
floor with footprints on them and
Or smoked it or something like that.
There would have been people who would have just gone, nah, this guy's a dickhead, because that's what happens when you have those industry quiz nights or awards nights. The people stand up and they find a way to be really cynical or how much they hate the industry just so they can get those kind of really cynical laughs.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense for their future.
No, it doesn't make sense for their future. It is a little bit strange. Boys, we need to put some people on the plaque.
Yes.
It's a shorter round today because we've got lots to do. So on the plaque, Matty, who are you chucking up there?
Chucking up Danny Straps, who's the marketing guy.
Strappo.
Straps. He's the marketing guy for Shifty Lizard.
Awesome.
So he's the one that's connecting us with all this exciting stuff that's going to happen that we'll announce in the coming weeks.
Yep.
So he's on.
Andy, are you putting anyone up there?
Yeah, I got a mate called Aaron.
Okay.
He's a real guy. So
He's a real buy. Oh my
Said
God.
he's a real buy.
Yeah. What, you bought him from Kmart
No,
or something?
I'm thinking bisexual.
Sorry, Yaz.
As and yes.
yeah, sorry, you'll find out through the podcast.
It's quite funny, I think, about our merchandise, which you can go to ozcastnetwork.com or just search Best Team Man. But he's a real buy is a great quote.
Also, Matty Loves Fanta is a great T-shirt too.
Yes.
It is a very good one. I'm going to put up there Cameron Hawkins, which is Hawko88 on Twitter. He's followed us. He's been listening to us. Some guy last night followed us whose name is War, and I was going to write back on Twitter, or whoever runs the Twitter account was going to write War, you know that song?
What is it good for?
Yeah. But I or whoever runs the Twitter account didn't do that.
It's not abusive enough. No.
Hey! All right, so have a look at our socials, please. You'll find out who wins the Odd Socks from Odd Sock Mob. It's been great spending time with you boys. And we keep an eye out for the multi too. Thanks to Connolina. What a great round.
Yes. It's been good. Yeah,
it really has.
We didn't do what grinds my gears, but we'll save that for next round because.
Have you got it? Have you got one?
I've got one.
Well, just drop it now, brother.
All right.
Boom.
All right. So I apologise.
No, we've run out of time.
The SD card's still full, guys.
No, go for it.
I apologise if this is applicable.
That's great for next week.
Applicable to both of you. That's hard to say.
Oh, yeah, try saying it on Broadcaster Channel 7. Yeah. Don't talk about it.
The scene. John Cena. I can't stand when you go to like a restaurant or a fast food place and there's parents there with young kids. And I'm talking, how dare you? 3.5, 4.
Oh, okay, yep.
My
And
daughter's 4.
I said, I apologise if this is
I like it. I like it. Give me more. I hate it
and
too.
the parents are encouraging the kids to order their own food.
Oh, yeah,
no,
yeah,
don't do
yeah.
that.
Yeah. They don't know what they want. They can't spit it out. Fucking order for them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that what you say?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what grinds my gears today.
What an end.
Very aggressive end
It
to the podcast.
really is.
This has been great, guys.
All right,
Yeah, there we go.
Thanks. All right,
It's gone.
Brought to you by the Brighton Trophy Center. Cups, trophy, badges, medals. Yeah, we do it better. Best team, man. DTC, BTM, BTS. Yeah. Best team, man. Oh, yeah. Sweet.
Ozcast.
Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.